Clayton.
They try to run the dive over the left-hand side. This is not something that they've used very often here today, and that's very difficult to do against a team in which they were basically in their goal line defense. It might have been a little bit nicer to see them running out of that I formation where you give Marshall a chance to read the defense. There he really has no choice. He's got to go straight ahead and not able to pick up the first down, and now the ball goes over to this fine Gloucester offense, who was very impressive the last time they had the ball.
Ball's on about the 7-yard line. They're 93 yards away. They need a touchdown. And Hauser staying on, or Hodson staying on his feet.
You know, even though Clayton did not get the first down, you have to be very impressed in the way in which they maintain control of the ball. There just now is under 5.5 minutes left in this ball game, so they really worked off a lot of valuable time off that clock. And as we mentioned, there was 2 big penalties that they were able to overcome and pick up first downs, and taking the ball down there inside the 10-yard line, but unable to pick up the first. But they did take a lot of time off that clock.
Big 7-yard gain for Gus Hodson. Hunter with Canane and Hodson in the backfield. The give to Hodson. He breaks right. Hess is chasing him down, and he knocks him out of bounds. First down, Gloucester, just short of the 20. And Hodson is rolling over, and I don't know if he's tired or he's hurt. Maybe a little of both.
He's got to be feeling awfully winded. He's carried this team offensively here today, and he does not ever come off the field as he stays out there for defense, and they rely on him an awful lot out of that strong safety position. But now they are really going to be hurting if they don't have him in that backfield. They're not the same team with Hodson out of there as they are when he is running out of that tailback position.
Hodson stays over on the sidelines. Hunter, back to pass. He's being chased. Looking downfield, picks up some yardage and gets out, picking up maybe 5-6 yards on the play. A nice play by Hunter, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Hunter's done that a number of times here today where he's felt the pressure and he's been able to get out of the pocket and prevent the big loss. But again, that was the play. It did not look like a pass at all. He's got Hauser down here in the lower left-hand side of your screen, but Hauser just never even turns around. So to me, this is not a pass at all. This is strictly a run all the way, in which they're trying to get downfield to throw the blocks. Hunter able to get upfield, get whatever yardage he can, but that's going to leave him a little bit short here with second down at about 5, and timeout is called.
4:46 left. Gloucester has to do it here. We're going to take a break. The score 25-20 Clayton. Clayton in the lead. The handoff is to Hodson, who's back in the game. Picks up good yardage, fumbles the ball. No, they call him down. Called him down. Of course, what takes us to the fourth quarter to find out a little question we have in the program is the quarterback, Michael Hunter. We have him listed as number 14. However, the program has number 14, Tim Monk. Hopefully we didn't confuse the two. First down to give to Hodson. Up the middle again. Good yardage, still on his feet. He's out to the 40. Picks up 5.
Nice job by Hodson, the tailback there, to pick up the good yardage. We saw him just a few minutes ago go down on that sideline over there after taking a hit out of going out of bounds. But to show you the kind of competitor that he is, to come back in here knowing his team needs him out on the field. Time is now running out. There's about 3:47 left here in the game. And I really don't know if Gloucester can continue to keep this ball on the ground if they're going to have enough time to put it across for the score. But if they can continue to get yards like that from Gus Hodson, their tailback, they just may have enough time here to get that score across.
Okay, it is Tim Monk. I believe Hunter might have been injured at the end of the first half. So Monk is the quarterback.
You know, the information that we were given before the game by the coaching staff, they had listed Hunter as number 14. And that is what has caused the confusion. The program does lift Tim Monk as number 14, as you mentioned, John. If indeed Hunter was in there the first half, he took a shot on that last one in which the fumble occurred.
Another nice run by Hodson. We're down to 3 minutes. Nice 8 or 9 yard gain on first down, and Hodson just eating up the yardage.
This is very similar to a game which Channel 5 did last night between Pittman and Clearview, in which a lot of people felt whichever team had the ball last was going to come out as the victor in this game, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. As this ball control offensive Gloucester is now taking up valuable yardage and valuable time.
Looks like another first down. Broccoluri. So the chains continue to move downfield. An impressive drive that started at Gloucester's own 7-yard line.
Broccoluri in there at tailback. As again, Hodson, it seems, is going off the field. He's just got to be almost physically exhausted up until this point.
An official's timeout. So we're being told it is Tim Monk, the quarterback.
We have to apologize to Tim. Tim has been in there just about this whole half. Tim is only a sophomore, and he's done a nice job in leading this team here.
First down. Monk keeps the ball, and he's stopped there by the quarterback, also playing defense, Keith DeFrance.
Monk trying to run that option to the left-hand side, and he's going to run the ball all the way. There is no pitch option in there. He wants to follow his blockers over the left-hand side of the line. He's able to pick up 2 and 3 yards, and there we see back on the field again is number 15, the man of the hour for this Gloucester Lion team, Gus Hodson.
And Gloucester calling a timeout with 1:42 left. I don't think Leon Harris wanted it.
Right now,
now they're saying an official timeout.
Right, the quarterback there, Tim Monk, who ran that last play, is kind of holding off on the side. Right now, Leon Harris will have to decide whether or not he wants to use a timeout to allow his quarterback the opportunity to get back in the ball game. And right now, it looks like he's going to be going to the sidelines. It looks like Chad Holland is who he's talking to right now. So if indeed we are correct that Michael Hunter started the game but was injured at halftime, and Tim Monk came into the game to replace him, right now we're looking at the third quarterback for this Gloucester team, Chad Holland. But the one nice thing coming into this ball game is you don't have to ask your quarterback to throw the ball an awful lot. Right now he has to do one thing and one thing only. That's to take the snap and turn around and hand the ball to number 15.
Second down and about 7. Holland with Canane. Gus Hodson in the backfield. Hodson, not much there, and a big third down play coming up now. 3rd and about 5, and we might see Hauser come into play here. Robert Marshall comes in on defense for Clayton as he replaces number 26, Dave Havlo.
Right now, we have Monk coming back into the ball game, so he decided to come out for the one play due to the fact that they did stop the clock. He had to be replaced or use the timeout. But now we have 3rd down about 5, but they are in 2-down territory. They will have 2 downs to make this first.
Ball sitting at the 30. The snap, the fake. Monk looking. He's going to take off with it. Has a first down and more. 20 down to close to the 10-yard line. First down, Gloucester.
They're going to rule that Monk went out just inside the 20-yard line, maybe about the 16 or 17, as you got to give the coaching staff for the Gloucester Lions a lot of credit. Leon Harris with 3rd down and short. He brought in 3 backs to the backfield. Looked like it was going to be a run all the way. He fakes into the line. Monk rolls to his right. He was looking for Hauser in the right-hand corner. Saw that he had the running room. He takes off, showed good speed. Not only picked up the first down, but got out of bounds. But the clock is now down to 46 seconds. Clayton is leading this game 25-20 with Gloucester with the ball at about the 16-yard line of the Clayton defense. Now, this has been a very impressive drive, this Gloucester offense, and they've done it basically utilizing the run. They have yet to throw a pass in this drive, and I think, as you mentioned, John, it was a drive that started on the 7-yard line with just a little bit over 4 minutes left in the ball game. And usually you see it, usually have a team like Gloucester who doesn't utilize the pass that much. Covering that kind of distance in that short amount of time is also almost impossible. But not when you have the kind of running back that you have in Gus Hodson, who's picked up some very valuable yardage here. And know, it's a shame we don't have any kind of statistics on what Hodson has done here this afternoon, but it certainly has been very impressive.
You'd have to think he's at least 95% of the offense. He's really carried the load. And Clayton just trying to settle down the defense. This could be one of the biggest wins for this program in many, many years. 1st and 10, 46 seconds left. Monk gives the ball to Hodson, and no gain. Great defensive stand. And it looks like Gloucester will use their final timeout. That appears to be their third. I think I counted number 3 there. So now if you're Gloucester, no timeouts left. Do you put the ball in the air?
Almost has to in this particular case, and I think that's exactly what Leon Harris was thinking. That's the play that they used a lot at the end of the first half, in which they handed the ball off to Hodson. Hodson looked to break it back across the field, pick up as much yardage as possible, but then get yourself out of bounds. They decided to try that play once, see how it worked, and now that it didn't work, I think now they're going to have to change their game plan. Because if indeed it is the case where you have no timeouts left, only 41 seconds left in the ball game, your ball's sitting on about the 17-yard line, they're now going to have to think about taking some shots at the end zone. But if you're going to be taking some shots at the end zone, you have one of the best in the business out there in number 80 for this Gloucester Lion football team, Neil Hauser, an all-state wide receiver. Right now with the ball on the right-hand hash mark, he's going out to that right-hand side.
Quarterback Tim Monk, just a sophomore, has Hauser to the right. 3 men in the backfield. Looks like an option. Monk's going to roll out. He breaks a tackle. Monk is finally tackled, and Clayton really had a chance to stop him dead in his tracks. However, more confusion. Now we're being told it's Mike Hunter, the quarterback. The program and the list that Gloucester gave us are both different.
Okay, here we're going to get a replay, and now we're going to assume that it's Mike Hunter, I guess, at quarterback. We see the tail end of this, and the replay there really doesn't give the credit that should be deserved there to Michael Hunter, the quarterback. On that particular play, it was an option to the left-hand side, and Clayton read that very well. I thought maybe they would try to get the ball to Hodson's hands out here on the left-hand side on the pitch. They chose not to, and the quarterback, whoever he may have been on that particular play, did a great job of breaking the ball back upfield to try to pick up valuable yardage, a little bit short of the first, as we got now 3rd down and about 4 with 29 seconds left in the ball game.
Okay, we'll see what happens. It looks like Clayton jumps, and he'll give Gloucester a 1st down.
That's a big play right there, which, well, you said, will be 5 yards. It'll put the ball inside the 10-yard line. No time runs off the clock. They pick up the 1st down. Now they have 4 plays to get this ball into the end zone. Otherwise, if Clayton had been able to stop him here, Gloucester would have had to concern themselves with not only the time, but also the fact they'd had to get a 1st down. So that is a key there play for Gloucester. On the penalty, they're lining themselves up at the line of scrimmage. They know exactly which play they want to run. We got 3 guys in the backfield. Hodson, of course, is the tail. Hauser split out to the left-hand side.
Got to get 5 yards. Do you run the ball? We'll see if they give it to Hodson and run wide. They give the ball to Hodson. Does not get the 1st. They got to get back and set. 24, 23 and counting.
And with the number of plays they had, you got one-on-one with Hauser out here on the left-hand
just
side.
To throw the ball away here maybe and get set. We'll see what happens. They got to throw the ball. I don't think they can run. 11 seconds. This could be the final play. They're going to give the Hodson. He stopped. He stopped. 2 seconds. Clayton wins this game. Unbelievable win for Clayton. Some strange play calling by Gloucester at the end of the game. And they stop Hodson short of the end zone. Clayton 25, Gloucester 20. Jimmy Barron definitely happy.
There we see a host of happy Clippers right there as they do an outstanding job of stopping this Gloucester offense with time running out as the ball was given to Hodson over that right-hand side. The Clipper defense comes up big. And as you mentioned earlier, John, that is a tremendous victory for this football program.
Final score, Clayton 25. We'll watch the play one more time.
Here's the replay. The ball's going to Hodson over the right-hand side. Good surge, very difficult. There's the play right there.
Number 22.
Number 22 on the play.
Ernie Williams.
He comes
What a
up
play.
big from on that left side of the defense as the Clippers come out of this with a 25-20 victory.
We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. School where Clayton High School picked up probably the biggest victory here in many years, 25-20 over Gloucester, joined by Jim Barron, head coach of Clayton. Coach, a very big win.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the players. They played their hearts out. That's what I was looking for from them today.
We talked early in the week about Hodson and Hauser, and it looks like you took them out of their game, especially the passing game early.
I think we just matter of slowed them down. I think if we played a couple more quarters, it could have went the other way. They're just an excellent football team. I'm glad to get a win.
You have to be impressed by Gus Hodson. He was like 95% of their offense today.
He was. I'd love to have him on my team. I know that.
Now, what about late in the fourth quarter? You had the ball on the 7-yard line, 4th and 1. You decided to go for the first down. Did it cross your mind to go for the field goal at that point?
I was thinking about the field goal, but then I thought if they scored and went for 2, it would be a tied game. So I wanted to get the win more than the tie. That's what I was looking for.
We like to see coaches do that. What about Robert Marshall? He played another great game today.
He's an excellent back, and I'm glad I have him back for another year. He should be better next year.
Your passing game was kind of effective, too. We found out about Joe Hess.
Yeah, we got a lot of weapons this year. You know, Robert's a real good running back, but we got other people, too, in case something happens to him. And I guess we showed it today.
Anything to add, Steve?
Yeah, he did a great job. It was almost like seeing two different ball teams out there this morning. You know, the first half using your passing game an awful lot. Second half, a little bit more of your ball control. Any adjustments that you made at the halftime, both offensively or defensively, that you think really made a difference here this afternoon?
I don't think we really made that many adjustments. We saw the openings in the first half, but we just had to take advantage of them. You know, to high school kids, anything can happen, and that's what happens.
Well, you have next week Wildwood, then you have Salem and Williamstown. It doesn't get easier.
No, it sure does, and we're already thinking about Wildwood, so hopefully we can come home from that game with a victory also.
Okay, Coach, congratulations. Wish you luck next week. Okay, Steve, well, a big win for Clayton.
It's a huge win. I mean, it's an absolutely, you can't measure the amount of, that this is the benefit that they're going to receive from this victory. It's not just a win. It's not just their first win in the division, which puts them at 1-0 at top of the conference, but they beat what many consider to be the favorite, a fine Gloucester team who had been returning 2 of their outstanding players, and Gus Hodson, who we saw, and Neil Hauser. And this really throws a lot of confusion in the divisional race, which is probably as well balanced this year as we have ever seen it. Right now, you have Gloucester, who is now 0-1 at the bottom of the division. You have Clayton at 1-0 sitting at the top. Salem has looked very impressive, and of course, Gloucester still has to play Salem. As you mentioned, Clayton still has to play Salem. You can't rule out Glassboro as being a team that's going to be in there and maybe in the thick of this race. And Pittman has turned their program around completely, and they could be a team to contend with. There's a lot of balance, a lot of great football teams in here, and I think it's going to be the kind of season. It's going to come right down to the wire, possibly that last week of football, maybe on Thanksgiving Day when Clayton has to play Pittman to determine who the final champion is going to be.
Yeah, of course, we saw a couple good wide receivers, Hess and Hauser, and a couple good running backs, Marshall and Hodson. How were you impressed by them?
I think I was more impressed with the Clayton passing game today than I was with the Gloucester passing game. I was looking forward to a lot more in terms of Gloucester's ability to move the ball through the air, and it just was not there today. One of the key questions we mentioned coming into this season was going to be at the quarterback position, and Mike Hunter did a nice job today, but they're going to have to give him a little bit more time. He's going to have to do a better job in getting the ball into Hauser's hands. Otherwise, more and more teams are going to be able to key on Gus Hodson and take him out of the ball game. On the other side, you can't say enough for Keith DeFrance and the job that he did at quarterback position, and especially getting the ball to the likes of the receivers of Crenshaw, who made some great catches today, kept alive a lot of big drives, and then Hess, who came in with the big plays today. The one in which he received the ball at about the 20 and took it in, showing fine running ability, and then the great catch he made with no time left in the first half, which gave them a big emotional lift there at halftime.
Okay, final score, Clayton over Gloucester, 25-24. Steve Crispin at Channel 5. I'm John Mondelli. We'll see you next week.
support. We think we have an interesting high school football game for you today, a game that could decide the Tri-County Classic Division. Both teams coming in with records of 4-3-1, the Panthers of Pittman and the Clippers of Clayton. And if Clayton wins this game, they tie Gloucester for the Tri-County Classic Division Championship. When we come back, we'll go down on the field and talk to Mike Linder and Bob Shryock, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Happy holidays from all of your friends at Heritage's Dairy Stores.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome back to the pregame show. Mike Linder along with Bob Shryock. We're at Pittman High School, and yes, it is Thanksgiving morning. Can you believe this weather? Just an absolutely gorgeous day to cap off what will be a great season for Clayton and not a bad one for Pittman, whichever one comes out on top.
Like, this game has a lot more meaning than a lot of recent Thanksgiving games between Pittman and Clayton. And, of course, Clayton, which has struggled for so many years since the consolidation at Delsey, has a chance not only for a winning season, its first since 1959, before Mike Linder was the coach at Clayton High even, but it has a chance to tie for the Tri-County Conference Classic Division title. And, of course, Pittman also 4-3-1, so a winning season at stake for the Panthers as well. This is probably, Mike, one of the more meaningful games in the Gloucester County area today.
And because of that, we anticipate not only the big crowds because of Thanksgiving, but because of the excitement that has surrounded this game. We've got a couple of young coaches here, but guys that have really gained in reputation in a very short time.
Jim Barron has done an outstanding job at Clayton, Mike, and you know, it's kind of interesting, the coaching staff that he's put together. Joe Hartman, the longtime coach and AD at the Eastern Regional High School, is now an assistant on that team. Jim Hall, the athletic director, former head coach, is part of the coaching staff. They've done an outstanding job, Mike. You know, you live in Clayton. The numbers are never there. Clayton, the smallest public high school in the state of New Jersey. I think they've developed a new winning tradition at Clayton. They've done a great job. Same thing with Bob Reddig here at Pittman. I've gotten to know Bob pretty well, and he's an enthusiastic young guy with an equally enthusiastic young coaching staff, and I think both of these programs are heading in the right direction behind some outstanding young coaches.
And on the personnel side, halfbacks seem to be the story, running backs for both teams. And there's a big story on either side today. On the Clayton side, a young man who has already 25 touchdowns in his 2 seasons, and looking for more on the other side, a young man who isn't going to play.
Young man who's not going to play is John Weisburn. He's a sophomore, Mike. We saw him early in the season against Clearview. He impressed us, 170 yards rushing against Clearview in that football game. A workhorse. He likes the ball like Gus Hodgson of Gloucester High. Weisburn, injured in the Pensgrove game, is not expected to play today. He talked to Jim Barron last night, said he'd like to play, but, to Reddig, but Reddig indicated he does not think he'll play him. And, of course, the other halfback you're talking about is Rob Marshall of Clayton High. Mike, he's going to be a great football player, only a junior. 1,369 rushing yards this season, and 13 of those 25 touchdowns you're talking about coming in. He's a legitimate player. Where's number 32, OJ's number? Might have a little meaning there.
And he's the kind of guy that is exciting, can give you the big runs, and can do it at any time. Pittman and Clayton coming up. We'll go back now to the studio with John.
Thank you, Mike and Bob. It should be an interesting contest in the Tri-County Classic Division. Clayton trying for their first winning season since 1959. We'll have all the action coming up next on Channel 5.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holidays from all of your friends at Heritage's Dairy Stores.
Dippy's, with ice cream cakes and yogurt pies all year round, wants to wish everyone happy holidays, Dippy's style. When you do your holiday visiting, don't go empty-handed. Bring a delicious holiday treat from Dippy's. Call 468-4441.
Channel 5 Store Cable Communications presents Tri-County Conference football from Davis Field in Pittman. It's the Clippers of Clayton High School and the Panthers of Pittman High School. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Mike Linder along with Bob Shryak for Channel 5. And a big crowd here at Pittman today, understandably, as both teams go for a winning record. That's somewhat more important, perhaps, for the Clippers of Clayton, not having had one since 1959. Pittman has won the toss and has elected to receive, and for play-by-play, Bob Shryak. Bob?
Broken ball kicking off for Clayton High. The deep men for Pittman. Pat Quinn, number 41. Rich Sharpnack, number 48. An absolutely perfect day for traditional Thanksgiving Day football at Pittman High. We're underway. Short kickoff by Quinn, taken by one of the up men at the 24-yard line. And a good return, outstanding return by Jim Berwick out to the 45-yard line. Now, that's a name that could prove significant today because Berwick is the one who is replacing John Weisburn, the fine sophomore we were talking about in the pregame. So Pittman with outstanding field position at its own 45.
And Berwick has waited a long time for this, Bob. As you know, he was penciled in as the probable starter before the season came in, and then Weisburn, the sophomore, just took over, and he's never been able to get back in until the Weisburn injury.
Berwick and Sharpnack, the backs behind the quarterback. Pressman and movement by Clayton, apparently. This will cost the Clippers 5 yards.
Silvio DeCritico, the right defensive tackle, wearing number 66, jumped off sides. George Bendini, the referee today in the white
Dead
hat.
ball, encroachment, defense, first down. 1st and 5, on the ready.
I've known George for a long time, Bob.
You play ball with him, did you?
Played football with him in college,
boy.
at Trenton State College.
He looks so young.
Yeah, he is actually a little older than I am, I believe.
So Pittman in Clayton territory just past midfield without running an offensive play. 1st down and 5 for the Panthers. Sharpnack with the handoff, and Sharpnack gets a couple of yards down to about the 45. Sharpnack has had an outstanding season for the Clippers. Weisburn and Sharpnack provide an outstanding 1-2 running punch for Pittman. Pickup of about 4 yards, 2nd down and 1.
Now, Coach Reddick, as we saw in the game we did early in the season against Clearview, had this team just running straight fundamental football, did a lot of trapping, pulled the guards, liked to get them out in front of the runners, and they were very, very efficient in that first game we had them on Channel 5.
Berwick with a lot of room over the left side, got some good blocking, gets the 1st down plus more. So Pittman moving on its first possession as they get it down to the 41-yard line.
Excellent counter play that time. Really had the linebackers from Clayton moving to the left side, and they were coming back in the opposite direction with the second man through. Counter, important part of the offense here for Reddick and staff for the Panthers.
10 minutes, 25 seconds remaining first quarter. No score. Pittman driving after taking the opening kickoff. Berwick, same play. Good running room again for Berwick, and Berwick taking advantage of his opportunity here with 3 good offensive plays already, including the opening kickoff. This advance to the 35, pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4.
Well, this is the case with almost any good running back, Bob. You have to have some blocking out in front of you, and frequently somebody in the backfield will help you out, and you really don't hear that person's name. That time, number 48, Rich Sharpnack, just led the way through the hole along with Chris Thurston coming from the guard position, and they opened it up for the Panthers.
Berwick with the carry. Not a lot doing this time as Clayton has its best defensive play.
Sean Newland, Rob Marshall making the tackle. Newland playing at left defensive tackle. Marshall playing at the linebacker slot. There's Bob Reddick. Reddick in his 3rd season here. 3 and 6 a year ago.
3rd down and a long 3 for Pittman. They are at the 33-yard line of Clayton. Sharpnack with the carry. He has the 1st down. So Pittman with an impressive opening drive here.
Well, at that time, Bob, it might have been an audible at the line of scrimmage. The Clippers went to the wide defensive line alignment and brought 2 linebackers to the middle, and the quarterback, Cressman, saw that, and I think he may have checked off there and brought Sharpnack right up the middle to take advantage of that defensive adjustment made by the Clippers.
Back-to-back 1st downs. The ball at the 28-yard line of Clayton. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go first period. Clayton has not touched the football, and Pittman taking it all the way down.